Hi, this is Bill Monroe of Project Portfolio Excellence Incorporated, and this is part one of the How Quality Software Happens video series entitled the Project Triad. In this video, we're going to talk about the three groups of the Project Triad and the roles and responsibilities they have in working together to assure project success. I start all my presentations with a review of the number one truth of Project Portfolio Excellence, and that is that the causes of project failure are easy to diagnose and simple to understand. Hopefully, as you learn more about Project Portfolio Excellence, you'll come to see that this is absolutely true. Now, why do we need Project Portfolio Excellence? Well, you can see on the graph that's compiled from the data the Standish Group has presented and published over the years, that over the last 8 years or so, our rate of project success has decreased slightly, and our rate of project failure has gone up 60%, from 15% failures to 24%. I would also point out that during that same period of time, the number of certified project management professionals has increased tenfold, from around 35,000 to over 380,000. So while some people today maintain that the reason our projects fail is because of poor project management skills, I don't believe that's the case, because our project managers today are better trained than they were in the past, and yet our results are not as good as they were in the past. I think it's something else. Here are three factors that I believe are contributing to the increased failure rate for our projects today. Number one, today's projects are more complex than they were in the past. In the past, many of the projects that we undertook were confined within one particular business area or silo. Today, many of the projects that we're trying to execute are spanning multiple business areas, and so they're more complex in nature. Secondly, our timelines today are more compressed than they were in the past. We want to get the value and the benefits of our projects faster. We don't want to wait around for it. And finally, our resources today are more overloaded than they were in the past. Not only are we trying to get more work done, and we're trying to get that work done faster, but in many cases we're trying to get it done with fewer resources. When you combine these three factors, and then consider that each of them is increasing in its intensity, you begin to see that as we move into the future, success with projects is going to be harder and harder to achieve. So what's the answer? Well, I believe that the answer is Project Portfolio Excellence. And today we're going to talk about one of the main tools of Project Portfolio Excellence, the Project Triad. The Project Triad is made up of the three groups that exist in every organization that have to effectively collaborate in order to be successful with enterprise software and software-related projects. The first group we want to talk about is senior managers. Of the three groups in the Project Triad, senior managers have the most power. They're the ones who act as project sponsors, they approve vision and scope, and they also set expectations as far as delivery date and budget. Because senior managers have this tremendous amount of power in setting the goals and expectations for projects, they also have the power to derail projects before they even get started. If the project sponsor sets unrealistic demands, goals, expectations, deadlines, budgets, the project may end up not having any chance for success. In Project Portfolio Excellence, one of our goals is to make sure that senior managers understand the tremendous power and influence they have concerning project success. We want to make sure that they don't inadvertently create impossible constraints for the project. This is a sampling of some of the responsibilities that senior managers have under Project Portfolio Excellence. They need to provide direction to the team. They need to let the team know why they're working on the project they're working on and what the goals are and how they're going to be measured. They need to be reasonable. We talked about earlier, they have a tremendous capability and power to derail the project. They need to make sure that they don't inadvertently do that. When obstacles are encountered by the project team, senior managers need to help to remove those obstacles. They need to make sure that resources are available when and where needed. And after the project has been implemented, senior managers need to validate the project's success or the ROI so that can be used for future reference when evaluating new projects. The next group we'll talk about in the Project Triad is business professionals. You can see on the slide that I say business professionals create specifications, and they do that, but they do a heck of a lot more than that as well. Here are some of their responsibilities. Every software project changes business process in one way or another. It may be that we're adding new processes and new functionality, or it may be that we're changing current functionality and process in order to do it in a better way. Whichever the case may be, there has to be analysis and design work done to take us from the way we do things today to the way that we plan to do things tomorrow. This work has to be done by the business professionals because business professionals own the processes of the company. The reason I say business professionals own the processes of the company is because they're the ones who execute those processes every day. They know the details of the processes better than anyone, and more importantly, they know the exceptions to those processes. So when we're trying to figure out how we're going to do work in the future, business professionals are the ones that know what has to be accommodated. After the analysis and design of process changes takes place, business professionals need to gather and document the requirements that will enable those changes, and then they need to create the specifications that will convey those requirements to technology professionals. Once technology professionals have built and tested the deliverables for the project, then business professionals perform the final testing, which is called user acceptance testing. This is the testing where the business professionals will validate that what has been delivered fulfills the requirements and the specifications that they wrote. Finally, business professionals are the ones that will have to support the new systems and processes. We spend a lot of time to envision, design, build, test, and implement new systems and processes, but if we don't give them the support they need after implementation, all of that time, money, and energy will have been wasted and will never receive the benefits that were envisioned when the project was started. The final group of the Project Triad that we'll talk about is the technology professionals. Now you'll see on the slide I say technology professionals produce deliverables, but you'll also see that they do a lot more than just that. We said earlier that business professionals are the ones who understand business processes better than either of the other two groups because they're the ones who execute those processes every day. Well, technology professionals understand the underlying systems and data infrastructure of the company, and that information can be very important when it comes to creating requirements and specifications for projects as well. So it's important that business and technology professionals be able to collaborate effectively to combine their exclusive knowledge of the company assets to get the best results when it comes to requirements and specifications. In Project Portfolio Excellence, it's critical that business and technology professionals be able to collaborate effectively in order to achieve the greatest probability for success for the project. Now, we also know that there's a traditional language gap between these two groups that has to be bridged. It's important for technology professionals to get comfortable with the idea of asking for clarification or even challenging and asking for justification for requirements when that's necessary. There are many types of testing that technology professionals are responsible for, and I've listed 4 of the major types of testing here. Finally, technology professionals have to support new systems and processes in the same way that business professionals do. So it's important that they understand going into the project what's going to be required after the implementation because it could require more resources. I hope that this video has gotten you to think a little bit about how you currently pursue projects and how you might be able to do better with Project Portfolio Excellence. If you have any questions about the material presented here, you can submit them via telephone or email. You can also call to set up a free consultation. We'll talk about your goals and needs and whether Project Portfolio Excellence might be able to help you get better results with your enterprise software and software-related projects. If you'd like general information about Project Portfolio Excellence, you can visit the website at www.projectportfolioexcellence.com. Thank you for listening.